The Ouija board. One day, a kid brought an Ouija board to school, and suddenly it was all anyone could talk about. The whole place was buzzing with stories of spooky encounters and ghostly messages. Naturally, my curiosity was piqued. Could this little board really allow us to communicate with spirits? I had to find out. "Mom, Dad, can I get an Ouija board?" I asked one evening, trying to sound as casual as possible. My mom barely looked up from her book. "Why on earth would you want that, honey?" "Yeah," my dad chimed in, glancing over his newspaper. "There's no point in buying something like that." "But everyone at school is using one," I protested, but it was no use. They weren't budging. Luckily, my friend Jake was more understanding and lent me his Ouija board to try out. I hurried home, eager to show it to my younger brother Sam and our little sister Betty. Sam's eyes lit up as soon as he saw the board. "This is going to be awesome," he exclaimed. Betty, however, wasn't so enthusiastic. Her face paled and she shook her head. "I don't like it. It's creepy." "Don't be such a baby, Betty," I teased, trying to hide my own nervousness. "Sam and I are going to try it out, with or without you." She hesitated, looking between us and the board. Not wanting to be left out, she finally muttered, "Fine, I'll do it, but I don't like it." We decided the attic would be the perfect spot to conduct our little experiment. It was the creepiest part of the house, filled with old boxes, dust, and shadows that seemed to dance in the dim light. If any spirits were lurking in our home, surely they would be up there. We placed the Ouija board on a small rickety table and pulled up 3 chairs. None of us had any real idea how to use it, but we figured we'd just mimic what we'd heard at school. All 3 of us placed our hands on the planchette, the small triangular piece with an open circle in the middle, and I took a deep breath. "Are there any spirits here?" I asked, my voice trembling slightly. Nothing happened. We waited in silence, asking the question again and again. But still, nothing. After what felt like an eternity, I was ready to give up. "This is stupid," I said, frustration creeping into my voice. "It's probably just a dumb toy." "Maybe we're doing it wrong," Sam suggested, though he sounded just as disappointed as I felt. Betty was about to agree when I had one last idea. "Let's try spelling something out first. Maybe we need to start the conversation." We moved the planchette to spell out the word, "hi." For a moment, everything was still. Then, suddenly, the planchette began to move on its own. We all froze. "Who's moving it?" I demanded, my eyes darting between Sam and Betty. "It's not me!" Sam protested, his voice rising in pitch. "Not me either," Betty whispered, her eyes wide with fear. The planchette glided over the board, stopping at the letters H and I. My heart raced. It just said hi back, I stammered. Sam looked at me, his face pale. "This is real, isn't it?" "I think so," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "Let's ask who they are." We spelled out, "Who are you?" slowly, our fingers trembling. This time, the planchette moved with more purpose. It spelled out 2 names, Mike and Louie. "We're talking to actual spirits," I breathed, my excitement mounting. "Here, let me write down what they say," Sam suggested, grabbing a notepad and pen. I nodded and turned my attention back to the board. "My name is Ben, and this is my brother Sam and my sister Betty. How long have you been here?" The planchette moved again, and Sam read the letters out loud. "Nice to meet you. We have been here for 16 years. 16 years, I murmured. "How did you die?" The planchette hesitated for a moment, then spelled out a simple question mark. "They don't remember?" Betty whispered. Before I could respond, the planchette moved again, spelling out, "What is your last name?" "Jones," I replied, our fingers moving the planchette over the letters. The planchette moved again, this time spelling out, "Thanks. I'm going to Google it." Google? I repeated, confused. We waited in tense silence as the planchette moved again. When it stopped, Sam's face went white as a sheet. What did it say? I asked, my voice trembling. He didn't respond. Instead, he turned the notepad around to show me. My eyes widened as I read the words. Your family died in a gas leak accident.
Thank you for listening to this terrifying twist tale. Please support this channel by liking and subscribing.